Okay, hello everyone. Thank you so much for joining me in this space here today. I do honestly believe that this reading is meant to find the right people, okay? Because I have taken a break from tarot for a few months because the world, the egotistical world, society, all of that really just gets in the way of soul work like this. So I do want to just say that if you are seeing this and you're not, on my channel looking for it, it's meant to find you. It is May 5th right now. Whenever you find this is when you need to hear the message. But I do believe if it's finding you on May 5th, that this could really resonate with you. Again, like I said, I took a break from doing tarot for a little bit. Been focusing on other things in my life. But I felt very called this weekend by Spirit. I was just getting a lot of messages. My intuition was going crazy. And there's a lot of things that have been happening recently that has been kind of pulling me back into spirituality. So it doesn't matter how long of a break I take. It doesn't matter, if I say, oh, I'm not going to do this anymore, I always come back to this, especially when there's a message that needs to be conveyed. So 2 things before we go ahead and start drawing tarot and oracle. The phrase that was coming to mind when I was setting up is celebrate life. Okay, someone out there needs to hear that they need to start celebrating life. Okay, life is meant to be lived, and like I just spoke to you guys all about, sometimes worldly, egotistical things can stand in the way of your soul. Okay, what your soul wants at the core, your purpose. That spiritual work, it gets clouded sometimes because we're so busy. Okay, especially if you live in certain parts of the world where being busy is the norm. Okay, being flooded with work is the norm. And again, finding that balance, and just like I am being given this reminder to take a step back and slow down and start focusing on what truly matters, is the same way that you, whoever is watching this, needs to operate. If you're in this busy cycle, if you're losing sight of what truly matters, it's time to bring yourself back down to earth, ground yourself, and really focus on the things in your life that make your soul feel alive. Okay? For me, it's looking like I need to spend more time by myself. I need to spend more time in solitude. That's when I feel the most connected, because I'm able to reflect. Okay, so that's just a reminder for those that are watching. Also, if you're seeing this on my spread here, it's the words free and wild, and something that has been very prevalent in my life recently is the concept of free will. Okay, now this is a little bit of a debate, excuse me. And I just have to say, before I started this reading, I was like, I'm not going to need my water. I'm not going to need it. And I told myself, if there's some sort of anything that's happening with my voice or anything like that, it has to do with the throat chakra. Okay, so some of you need to tap into your voice, tap into your authenticity, and really put oh my goodness, really put yourself in spaces where you are being heard, seen, and valued. Okay, because each time that you put yourself in spaces that people view you as average or less than, you're not able to grow. Your growth is being stunted. Okay, you ultimately feel, ashamed to be who you are, and that's not what we came to this planet to do. We did not come here with the purpose to feel like we're less than. Okay, so make sure you're putting yourself in spaces where you are celebrated. All right, and then like I was saying, the free wild, this says free wild, but free will, the concept of that has been very prevalent. There's a lot of different opinions on this, but the point is you have free will. Okay, stop listening to judgments from other people. Stop thinking that you can't do things, even though you very well can. okay? And I know there's this concept that, you know, as children, we always ask for permission to do things, right? And we grow up and we have free will, right? But a lot of adults, we just stay in this cycle of asking for permission. And it might not be like genuinely 100% asking for permission, like, can I do this thing? But if you think about it, a lot of adults operate that way. We may not explicitly be asking for permission, but we are, you know, waiting on the judgments from other people. We do things in hopes that other people will approve. We don't do things in, you know, if we think people will not accept it, we don't do it. Sometimes we steer clear. Oh, I couldn't do that because XYZ will say this. I couldn't do that because my family will think this. I can't do this because my friends will think this. It is your life. You have free will to do what you want with this life. And if you spend it the whole time worrying about what other people have to think, you're not living a life that is authentic and true to you. Okay, so that's just a little food for thought before we go ahead and get into this. I am going to start off with the tarot. And I ask Spirit to really connect with me in this space and deliver the messages necessary for those who are joining me here today, Spirit. Spirit, I ask that you tap into today's reading, please. Convey any messages that the collective needs to hear. Okay, I'm also hearing to be patient with yourself. There's no reason to be rushing yourself, okay? There's no reason to be rushing to do anything, okay? You're never too old. You know, you're not running out of time. And this is something that a lot of people struggle with. They feel like they're always running out of time, that they don't have time, okay? Okay, first up we have the Temperance card, the Justice, the Knight of Cups, Ten of Wands, and the Page of Swords. Yeah, okay. Right away, the Justice card is just sticking out to me. It really is the sense that you're in a place or people have done things to you. It's just like this, I cannot even English. I can't talk today. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I feel like it goes back to that throat chakra thing that I was discussing, is like, you don't have a voice somewhere. It might not be like in your life you don't feel like you have a voice. It could just be certain areas of your life, or it could be every area of your life. It doesn't matter. And it also, you know, take what resonates. But it's this idea that you're not able to be who you truly are. You're not able to tap into everything. Okay? It's like this Justice card, like karma is going to be handed out to who it needs to be handed out to, right? And it's also this Ten of Wands, okay? These two are sticking out, okay? The Ten of Wands, it's this imagery of like going right through the skull. But it's also just, you're not able to see things clearly when you're in these spaces where you're not being appreciated. Like, you might be criticized by people all the time to the point that you don't see how amazing you actually are. You're not able to operate efficiently, I guess. You're not allowed to be yourself. And there's so much hatred and jealousy and competition and all of those terrible things that exist in the worldly aspects, okay? It's always like a competition of who can make the most money, who has the best car, whatever it is. It's just all these things you can get clouded by. But all of those things, that greediness, brings out the ugly parts of people. So if you're operating around people that are in this energy of just, I need to one-up you, I'm better than you, a very cocky energy, a very arrogant energy, you really need to reevaluate what you're doing there. Because over time, you might tell yourself, okay, I'm going to filter these things out. Sometimes they just go on, rants, and they say some things, and I know they don't mean it, and I know it's not true. Over time, if you're spending so much time with that person, you're going to believe it yourself. You're going to believe, oh, I'm not great. They're right about X, Y, Z. And that's not fair to you. It is simply not fair to you. Okay, you want to be in this energy of calmness. You want to really sink into yourself, know yourself, exercise that spiritual vessel. Okay, and if we look at this imagery, all of these hands obviously do not belong to this individual in the front, but it's basically like it's not just you at play in your life. There's angels helping you. They're helping you live out your purpose. They're helping you live out what it is that you need to accomplish here. And I feel like when people look at you, they see this. They see that there's other things in your life. Like there's so much divinity around you. There's so much energy around you that just communicates to people like, okay, like this person is protected. They've got backup. And that's really what's happening here with that Temperance card. You really have a lot of good energy around you, and people can sense that. Even if they don't know exactly what it is, they can sense that, and that may be part of the reason why people are so hateful, because you're threatening them. There's something about you that they can feel is good, and when people aren't good, it really, really bothers them. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Also, I have the evil eye that I put out for today's spread, and I don't typically put this in all of my readings, but I think it's quite amazing that I did put it out because, like I said, there's hateful energy. People wishing bad on you, people wanting you to be down a level so they can get up a level. That competitive energy. Yeah, we don't want any of that, okay? So we got that protection over there. All right, next we're gonna go with the Knight of Cups. And I know I'm going out of order, but it's just what's really coming through from Spirit. When I see this card, I think two things. One, I initially thought, okay, we need to go on some journey where we need to get away from people for a bit, travel somewhere, whether it's physically or just travel somewhere mentally. But we need to go somewhere to really feel that freeing energy. That energy where we're able to really 100% tap into spirit, tap into our intuition, and really understand who we are, what our goals are, what we're passionate about, what we believe should come to ourselves, if that makes sense. It's how we when we get to a space where we're able to reflect and ponder and dream and be inspired, that's when we're able to sit back and say, you know what, this is what I demand of people. This is how I believe I should be treated. But it's coming from a place of love toward yourself and not channeling those critics and what they have to say about you. It's not like, oh, I believe I don't need to be treated well. It's, no, I took time to myself. I went within. And now I realize that I'm getting a whole lot less than I deserve. And here's what I demand. And this water down here, it's like a roadblock. Okay, it's kind of like somebody's not letting you get to this place. Or a group of people are not letting you get to a place where you can take some time for yourself to figure this sort of stuff out, because they know the minute that you are alone with spirit and with these extra helping hands that you're going to start to see things for what it is. Okay, there's this potential for you to be absolutely amazing. You're meant to be uplifted and at a higher level. And I think when people know that they're keeping you from that, like I said earlier, they want to be up here. They want to be on this level. And they're afraid that if they let you get to this place, it's either they're afraid that if they let you get to this place where you're able to just go away, that you're going to start flying. It's either they're afraid of that or that's happening. Where you are in a period of solitude and you are reflecting and you're starting to see things clearly and your eyes are opening and you're finally changing the narrative from, oh, I deserve that bad treatment. Yeah, I am kind of not great, to, no, this is what I demand and I'm not getting it. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and jump into some oracle cards. But this is a very, very prevalent message, you guys. Very prevalent. And I feel like a lot of you need to hear this. Very strong, Spirit, thank you. All right, what other messages do we have for the collective, Spirit? Spirit, I ask that you tap into today's reading. What other messages do we have? Okay. All right, let's see. Okay, so the first card we have is Keepers of the Earth. You are not alone. Ancient ancestors stand beside you. What the heck did I just tell you guys? I say this in every reading, but every time I come back to the tarot space and the spiritual space, I'm always blown away by how loud and clear the messages are sometimes. Keepers of the Earth, you are not alone. Ancient ancestors stand beside you. Yeah, and those are the people, those extra hands. They are helping you realize something. They're helping you get to a place, and it's insane. All right, let's see the next one. I don't even know how to pronounce that. I want to say Pleiades, but I may be wrong. But the little description, double mission, channeling and uplifting humanity. Yeah, there's this sense that you're meant to, like I said earlier, tap into your intuition, channel the messages from Spirit, but your sole purpose is to uplift humanity, to uplift others. I don't get the vibe that you're a very deceitful person, like at all. I feel like you want to see people succeed, and that might be your realization lately is like, wait, why are these people acting like this? I would never say XYZ to someone. I would never make someone feel XYZ. How are they able to do that? You might be scratching your head. You might just be super confused as to why some people have the audacity. You know what I mean? And I think that this card does a good job of doing that. Like, your goal is to uplift others, and that might be the very energy that pisses people off. But you guys, it's your purpose is to uplift others. And I think the only time you get jealous is when you're in spaces where you're clouded by just cocky people, critical people, people that think that they're better. And I think you take on those negative thoughts of other people sometimes. And I think that's where you can have those moments where you're not feeling like you want to uplift. Okay. The next card we have is no. Okay, wait, postpone, pause, and say no. The first thing that I'm seeing, that I'm hearing honestly, but the visuals in this, there's a pathway leading to what looks like destruction, okay? Spirit's telling you no. You need to stop. You need to literally say no to going down that path any further. Why are you going down that path when you can clearly see that you're in a space where you're not celebrated? Too many cards, Spirit. Yeah, that is loud and clear. If you are pondering something, oh, so it's talking about this, should I do this? Should I continue? the answer is no. All right, Spirit, what additional messages do we have? That is very loud and clear. I cannot get past that. The no is very loud and clear. All right, Spirit, that is what we will take. Okay, first we have the Age of Light. You've been training for this for lifetimes. Yeah, it is your purpose. Something here is meant to unfold because you came to Earth with the intention to do so. Okay, your spiritual contract has led you to this lifetime where you're carrying out certain things. Okay, and again, you're meant for this. You've been training for it for lifetimes. Okay, then the last card that we have for you is the ever unfolding rose cracked open. It's happening for you, not to you. Yeah. Okay, there is something here. There is something here that you have to say no to, that maybe you just don't want to say no to it because you're like, no, it's good for me. I can do this. It's only this. I only have to put up with so much, you know, and maybe it could change and this could happen and maybe they'll see that I'm better. I don't think so. I really don't think so. And obviously you have to exercise your own intuition and really take what resonates, but Spirit is saying no, okay? And at the very least, you need to wait and you need to postpone, okay? But there's this sense of it's not meant for you and you might not want it to happen, but it is happening in your favor. It's happening for your greater good. It is happening for your soul's purpose. It's not happening to you. There's these revelations that you're getting that you're like, oh my gosh, like I know it's true, but I don't want to see the truth. But it's time that you see the truth and really stop walking down the path that you're currently going on. Because there's something here that is just not serving you. And it's not fair to you in the way that you love others and you love the job and you love the situation, whatever this is pertaining to. Just because you love something so much doesn't mean it's going to love you back. Okay, I think a lot of times we think, oh, if I just try harder, if things were different, if I tried this different approach, if I love a little bit more, it could be different. And it simply is not going to be different, okay? You deserve a space where you are celebrated, because when you are celebrated, you are able to really tap into every single atom in your body and be who you are meant to be. Life is supposed to be easy. It's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be happy. And there are times, yes, where it is a roller coaster and you have moments where things are just absolutely rough. But life is meant to be lived. Okay, you're meant to fall in love with yourself each and every single day. And if you are in spaces where you're not able to do that, please say no and walk away. Okay. That is all that I have for today's message. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a comment down below. Again, if you found this video, I'm so happy that you stayed in this space with me all the way until the very end. I hope that you gained some sort of clarity. I hope this solidified something for you. And again, if this did, I definitely want to hear your thoughts down below. I want to hear about your situation. I want to hear about how you even got these revelations. I want to know all about it. So definitely leave a comment below if you're willing to do so. With all of that being said, I will see you all in my next video. Bye, guys.